So each day I am doing a bit of a social personal experiment to write to myself from the third person and try to improve the quality of my life, which is actually great. I don't have a bad life, but there's things in my life that I feel like I'm really stuck on and I'm churning my wheels and not making any progress in. And I decided to do a bit of an experiment with myself to write to myself as if I was a third person coming into my world and being like, Courtney, you're doing so well. Here's what I'm noticing. Here's what I would love to encourage you to improve on. And I write everything that comes to me as if I was that third person. And I'm doing a bit of an experiment where I share this on video of what I've said. Now, I go into more detail on this on the first video on my channel. This is actually me now moving on from the first video on my channel into day one of the new experiment. So I'm going to bring up if I was more organized, I would have had this prepared. It's the first time I'm reading this back. I'm actually on day 5 of this experiment, but I'm starting from day 1 with filming it because I don't read what I write. I read it back later. It may be very boring for people that don't live my life to listen to this, and that's fine because I am doing this first and foremost for me, but I thought I would share it firstly because I personally would like to look back on these later, but also because I think it might help someone else. Okay. So I've called this experiment, Today I Entered the Body of Courtney Downs. And I'm just going to go ahead and read it. I will warn you, day 1 is the longest. All the others kind of flow from there. I'm just going to sit here and read it. And I highly expect that the only person I'm speaking to is me on camera. And that's fine. It's weird to film myself and post it because normally I would film something like this or I'd record it for me to listen back on and I wouldn't share it, but I'm sharing it. And as soon as I share something publicly, I'm like, I got to make it valuable for them. I got to make sure that because I do have a business where I post on social media and I'm like, I got to make sure that it's a teachable moment but this isn't going to be that. This is me teaching me through the lens of me in the third person, if that even makes sense. And I'm just going to consciously pay attention to every time I feel like I'm doing this for someone else and stay present to me. Because if I was watching someone else do this, I would want to feel like I was a fly on the wall, just listening to them talk to themselves. And so this is for me, but I know by being true to myself, if it's meant to help other people, it will find the right people. Okay, I'm going to make this slightly bigger. And here we go. This is day 1. Today I entered the body of a 31-year-old girl from Brisbane, Australia, Courtney Downs. It was a massive shock to the system stepping into her world. My arrival woke her up at 10:15 a.m. Within 15 seconds, I knew a lot of what I needed to know. They prepped me. I knew her background, her fears, her story, but that's all on paper. The one thing I don't get to find out until I arrive is how it feels to be her. But within 15 seconds, I was starting to understand. This brilliant, life-giving, Sagittarius, bold-spirited girl is trapped in a brain crammed with pressure, intense self-scrutiny, brilliance, awareness of brilliance, disappointment, fear, need for control, overflowing passion, and both enthusiasm but deadness from a seeming inability to live up to her own self-appointed potential. And all of that rushed to her within 15 seconds of waking up. No wonder she reached for her phone. No wonder she merely 15 seconds into the start of day 1 of the best future of her life did she reach for a cold metal brick filled with notifications, cheap dopamine, and a promise of an elusive cure to all pain. This sweet girl, a brain so busy she doesn't believe she has the capacity to stay present to her own life, and simultaneously feels she is thus missing out on that very life, all within 15 seconds. I am a soul reviver. As is my job, I enter the body of a human to reattach that cord that seems to have disconnected from the 3D physical human self to the multidimensional life source that is the soul that powers the human. I stay until the human I am visiting realizes that they also are me, and thus we become the same. And I'm not needed anymore in the best possible way. The risk of my job is that I may get kicked out. Some humans refuse any sort of revival. When this happens, I must leave. Thus is the human's right to reject awakening. But I have a 100% success rate, not to brag or anything. So today on day 1, I mostly observed. I find that it helps resurface presence to first observe. Many humans go straight to trying to fix what's broken, but the act of fixing what's broken is the entire problem because nothing is broken. To seek fixes for a problem that doesn't exist is inherently the only problem there is to fix. When you take stock, step back, and objectively observe, well, that's the only way you'll become present to what is. Things don't need fixing, they just need observing. From a place of observation, the natural order of how your human life wishes to integrate with your soul will come forth on its own. All you are doing when you observe is stepping out of your own way. Sometimes a human gets so lost in the fixing, they forget to observe, and that's where I come in. There are 2 absolute favorite parts of my job as a soul reviver. One part is when the human I step into finally sees who they are and how to live fully in connection with their own soul. The other is right now, on day 1. When I step into the life of the human and I see the weight they hold, tears brim to my eyes, even now writing this observation of knowing the feeling that is about to come for them on the other side. Here is what I learned about Courtney Downs today and the thoughts I have about the first steps we will be taking to break her free. Courtney has a gift. Her black and white objective thinking patterns are the glue that will piece together the next 50 years of her life. But she doesn't see that right now. To her, this way of thinking is a curse, a block she cannot seem to get away from. She resists the way that she views the world and wishes it were easier to hold all shades of color. To her, the black and white lens makes her feel that 2 things cannot be true at the same time. To succeed here, she must fail there. To feel joy here, she must suffer there. And if that person makes a suggestion, then this other person must be wrong. If she wants to feel freedom and joy, she must not have any structure or routine. It's either all up to her or she has no say in the matter. I could go on. She has an extraordinary power that has not been harnessed. She hasn't learned to turn such thinking on or off, so she holds heavy contrasts in her mind that keep her so balanced left to right that no movement or action can occur. Courtney holds the weight of responsibility like every decision she makes is one she will have to live with forever. She balances the consequence of every possible choice and leaves no room for outside influence, lest she is seen to have been not mature enough in the choices of her decisions. Whilst others may take on board advice like, you are responsible for your own life, and come to see that as meaning you get to choose the direction of your future, what a gift it is to be free to create and move as you need to choose a better outcome, well, Courtney perceives this quite literally to mean every choice you make, you must live with. Nothing is reversible, and everything reflects directly on who you are as a person. If you are worthy, smart, and intelligent, or if you are dumb, cast aside, and unable to lead a life worthy of sharing with others. That is the black and white thinking left untrained, in its rawest, most unclean, unpolished form. Beautiful in potential, but unusable without preparation. This is an area we will work on together. I can't wait for her to see the beauty of black and white thinking, the beauty of what the human world calls autistic thinking, when she can harness it for the gift it truly is. When trained and applied correctly, this pattern-heavy, contrast-colored lens can lead to absolute loyalty and focus on the things that matter most, an unstoppable, stubborn lust for life of justice, choice, opportunity, and peace for all, a voice that stands strong for herself and others in the face of uncertainty. Ability to see all opposing points of view and make extremely capable decisions. Impressive leadership skills, strong determination, trust in self and trust in others, immeasurable wealth, abundance, connection, flow, and opportunity. magnetic attraction without having to push or beg for anything. This is beyond her comprehension right now, but I so look forward to seeing this play out in the next little while. Another more tangible product of Courtney's busy brain is that she's constantly disassociating from this. She lives in a world of shoulds. She doesn't think she does. She'll tell you, oh, no, I want to, and correct her language. That's true. If she notices the word I should come out of her mouth. But in her mind, the should gremlins run free. I should have had a better month financially than I did. I should make a schedule so I can be more productive. I should wake up earlier. I should be more like XYZ on that podcast. I should follow her advice on that YouTube video. And this creates clutter. Why? Well, just look at her saved posts on Instagram, her notes app, and the screen time she racks up each day. Every post saved is a representation of what she feels her relationship with her partner should look like, what goals she should be achieving, what daily tasks she should be taking part in, what holidays she should be planning to go on. It's disguised as what she wants, but if she really wanted it, she would have it or get it. The truth is, she does this as a punishment to remind herself she isn't good enough, that she can't be fully loved, accepted fully until she achieves steps 100 to 203. It's too scary for her to stand vulnerably in her life and say, this is me, exactly as I am, unpolished, imperfect, half figured out, and messy. She learned from her parents that love is conditional. Love is a result of how others decide they want to see you. One day you're lovable, one day you're not. Every day is another day to prove your worth, to prove if you have what it takes to be liked. And it's a cruel game to see how far through the day you can get before you lose. If you win time, temporary peace, and mild judgment, mostly a chance to catch your breath and prepare for tomorrow's sprint. But if you lose, you win safety. The loss feels so comfortable that to lose is better. To lose is to know what's coming. Judgment, unsatisfactory results, the chance to sit with yourself and push yourself to do better tomorrow, to punish yourself in preparation for the next day. In this life where Courtney is the adult and she gets to have whatever day she wants, the punishment is saved posts on Instagram. Reminders of how you could better show up. And when it feels too much, too hard, too overwhelming, the post is saved about what others could do to make you feel better, namely your partner. She lives a hot, cold life with him, confused but temporarily relieved when things are good, angry but safe when things are bad, because she can blame him when the truth is she's just hiding behind what she believes is her inability to live a good enough life. If it's not her, it must be him. And if it's not him, it must be them. And if it's not them, it's obviously her. So she lives in her head. Her head is loud, heavy, sad. But beneath all the layers of shouting, just conscious enough to feel is this. There is a wild, free-spirited Sagittarius, people-loving, travel-ready, hungry for freedom girl, just itching to be allowed to live life just because she can. And the juxtaposition of wanting such permission for freedom with the punishment of not being worthy of love keeps her so burdened that she numbs. She scrolls, she talks to friends all day long, she breathes shallow breaths. I'm doing that right now. She doesn't sit for too long, she refuses sleep. She waits for absolute sheer exhaustion to close her eyes on a pillow. She wakes up exhausted. She sleeps during the day. She puts off the project she knows would change her life. She tells herself lies like, I can't go out for fun because I have things to do. Or when she does plan to go out, she makes it such an event that she can subconsciously not have permission to go out tomorrow. Someone may hear my observations from day one and feel immense sadness and grief for this beautiful lady, but they do not see what I see. I may have stepped into a body heavy with burden and unfounded responsibility. I may be feeling that weight in its entirety so I can understand it, but as a soul reviver, that weight does not hold down on me. I am free from the bounds of gravity and 3D finite resources. I feel nothing but ecstatic joy for the beautiful life I can see before me. I am excited to bring her forth, break those 3D chains, and allow her to see her infinite fucking potential that expands as far as the depths of the oceans, as high as the peaks of snow-capped mountains, and as wide as the heart she has the capacity for love. As wide as the heart has the capacity for love. Not potential as in pressure to achieve, potential as in the depths of which she can know herself without needing to change, improve, strive, or do another damn thing. To end, I must confess something. I broke my rule of observations only on day 1. I planted a seed. When we woke up, just as she reached for her phone, I gave her a thought. What if today, just for fun, I went to the international airport to do people watching? This is something I knew she would love. It feeds her pattern recognition skills. It connects her to something outside of herself. She gets out of the house and helps her tap into the natural extrovert energy she gets from hanging around other various paced humans. She fought this thought. She slept a little more, struggled to eat, tried to start a few fights with her partner before catching herself and apologizing. Big ups to her for that. I know she carries a lot of shame around vulnerability. But then she did it. She bloody did it. Her and Lance went to the airport, drove to a nearby parking lot, took the Uber in, chatted to the Uber driver about Austrian food and European Christmas markets, stood in awe at the arrivals lounge and allowed herself to feel giddy, childlike excitement about all the departing international flights. She went to level 2, found a cafe, and sat in the highest seats so she could watch all the arriving loved ones without a compromised back of heads view. Something in her shifted when she sat there sipping her extra hot pistachio hot chocolate. She looked across at her partner, and for the first time in a very fucking long time, she felt a sense of unblocked permission to dream. She asked Lance about taking an impromptu international flight. She allowed herself to dream without rules. What would we do if we had unlimited money and wanted to book a spontaneous overseas trip for 12 days next week? To her surprise, he took her up on the imaginary dreaming, and together they started Googling on their phones. She caught herself over and over as she tried to control every step of the planning, instead surrendering to the "it's just an experiment" element of the plan, and let Lance fully participate the way he wanted to. In 1 hour, they knew their flight plans, the most common cities in the country of Poland, the best activities to do in 3 of those cities, their favorite mountain view Airbnbs, the best train rides to take, and the cost and times of flights. When I tell you this shift this brilliant-minded woman went through today at the conclusion of their airport saga, what started as an outing laced with conversations around feeling heavy, the idea that getting up wasn't fun for her anymore and there was nothing but grey in the metaphorical sky and nothing exciting left in her life, ended with a free-flowing stream of connection, vitality, bright colours, options, and freedom. This sweet girl came home and barely touched her phone. She ate food, she read a book, she stayed present, she laughed and danced and joked with her partner. She put her mind to rest and let the worries of tomorrow be such worries. Now, as I close this out, let me say this. The work is before us, there is much to be done, but we take the wins for the wins, and today the win was found in a Brisbane International Airport. My goal in week 1 is reintegration and awareness of observation. It's to bring Courtney to a space of re-remembering what it's like to experience the little things in life, to see how even a flower just existing for the sake of existing is perfect and beautiful. Tomorrow we will continue slow. Observation week, it's only just upon us. Well, that was cool. I don't really have anything to add. That was really cool. I'm very fucking grateful I'm doing this because I forgot half of that, and even listening to that again now is a reminder to me to go out and do something fun today. So I'm going to go do that. Thanks for listening. Bye.